Good morning, Islander fans from the west coast of Canada. Yes, on the west coast here, it is morning time. Why I hate these games. Hockey was never meant to be played in the morning, and I don't even think it was meant to be played in the afternoon. So, welcome to the Canadian Islander fan. I'm Terry. We're going to be talking about the Oiler Islander game today, one of our biggest, oldest rivals from way back. I know a lot of new Islander fans probably don't see this team as the any kind of rival to us, but us old guard, we still see the Oilers as the hated Oilers. We remember the days. We remember the days. So big game tonight for the Islanders. Pretty upset about going into this game because the Islanders are going to be going on to about another 10, 11, 12-day break, whatever it is. And I think the thing that I'm most ticked off about the whole thing is our next game is against Seattle. And unless Seattle's had their games canceled for COVID, I cannot see why this game is getting canceled. Like if the Islanders got 10 games or 8 days off after the Seattle game, I don't see any reason why they can't go coast to coast and back. I know what they're thinking. Oh, well, when we reschedule it, they can hit all 4 games on the trip like we were going to. But you know what? We're going to have a condensed enough schedule as it is. There's no reason not to get that game against Seattle in. The Islanders got nothing to do after this game. So why not fly out to the West Coast, come visit TK? And I completely do not understand this one at all. So anyway, it makes today's game against the Oilers that much more important. One of the big things about this game is the Oilers, they flew out of the gates and they were running away with the Pacific Division. They're slumping just a little bit right now. They've only won two out of 10 games. And if ever there was a time for us to take advantage of the Oilers, it's right now. So we have to jump on these guys. I know they got McDavid and Draisaitl, but these, we have to beat all kinds of teams to get back into the race. So this is a huge game for us, and I'm hoping the Islanders will take full advantage of it. Looks like we're going to get Beauvillier back into the lineup today. Barry said yesterday that only one of the two Islanders was probably ready to go, so that means Ollie probably had the symptoms a little worse than Bo did, or Wally didn't have any symptoms at all, which is kind of odd. I think if it's the 5-day thing, but I'm not quite sure how it's going. A little bit of bad news for the Islanders today. Barry Trotz is going to be out. He's out due to personal reasons. I'm certainly hoping it's not his son or his wife. Anytime it's personal reasons, it's bad news. So best wishes going out to you, Barry. And I kind of got my hair a little bit slick to start this game in honor of Lane Lambert, as he will go for his first win as a New York Islander head coach. And here's hoping he gets that win. And you know what? If he's if he gets that one win, he's not that far behind Cappy for third place. That's how tragic our coaching has been over the decades. So big game for us today. We really need to come out strong. We need our power play has really picked it up, and we've been relying a lot on our power play lately, which is fine. A lot of other teams do it, and power plays winning us some games, specialty teams winning us some games. So we need to continue that trend of looking good on the power play. I mean, it was only about 6 games ago we were 32nd in power play, and right now going into this game, I believe we're 20th in power play percentage. So we're honing in on the upper half of the league for power play percentage. And for us, it's been a long time since we've seen any success like this from the Islanders on the power play. So it'd be nice to keep that up. So anyway, big game tonight. We need it because we got a break after this one again. This is what a season, man. I mean, if this season ends, man, we're going to have Islander games we're going to have 5 Islander games a week. And unfortunately for the Isles, that'll kill the Islanders. It'll eventually wear them down and they won't be able to win. it's just one of those seasons, but everything's won against us. But I know one thing about this group: they never give up. So I'm with them, and so we need this one for a win. So let's take to the ice aisles and win this game and stay on McDavid, stay on Draisaitl, stay in their kitchen and don't let them move. I know that's a hard, tall task to do, but you need to contain them as much as possible. So anyway, we'll see you between the first and second period. Let's go Islanders. Okay, so after the first period of play, New York Islanders won and Oilers zip. All right, that's a good way to start the game. The Oilers haven't won a game this year after trailing by after the first period. So here's hoping that that trend continues. The Islanders look really good tonight. They're definitely taking it to the Oilers. We've already had 2 power plays, so they're none, which is super important for us to keep them out of the off the power play because they're running almost 40% on their power play. And it's just crazy how good their power play is. But when you take a look at the players they got, but to score on one of our 2 power plays, what a beauty power play. Even the first one, I was so excited about. Like Dobson's just shooting rockets from the point. Is for those people who are missing Nick Leddy, that would be Nick Leddy in that spot right now if that guy was still on our team. So when's the last time you ever remember? I counted like 4 shots Dobson wound up and took in that first power play, and the power play looked great with no results. But in the second power play, the captain comes through, Anders Lee in his office, zipped her on in there, and Dobby over to Bellows. Bellows picking up another point. And I got to say, Mr. Bellows is looking pretty good in the first period. I thought the whole Islander team looked good. Ilya didn't have a whole lot of work in that period, but you know it's coming, Ilya. So be on your toes, buddy. Really an excellent period by the Islanders. We really took it to them. I mean, the Oilers did play yesterday. They're in a slump. So we need to take advantage of this. It's only a 1-goal lead, and we really need to start taking it to them. So yeah, what a beautiful goal. Dobson Bellows assisting on the captain's goal, Anders Lee. And Ilya was solid. Defense was solid. Forwards were forechecking is good to see. So it's uber important for the Islanders to close this game out. So we really need to take it to the Oilers the rest of the game. I don't think 1 goal is going to win this game. So looking good so far, Isles. Keep up the good work, and we shall see you in between the second and third period. After 2 periods of play, the Edmonton Oilers lead the New York Islanders 2-1. And what can you say, folks? Man, if the Islanders didn't have bad luck, they wouldn't have any luck at all. You know, that 31 seconds into the period to have a goal like that. I mean, Matt Martin's doing what he's supposed to do. He's tying up the guy to the side of the net who Draisaitl was trying to pass to, but it goes off. Matt did the job, but goes off his skate and straight into the net. And you know, we had several other opportunities in that period to score some goals with a little bit of a bounce here and a bounce there. Pajot had a chance. He had a shot on Koskinen. The puck dropped right at his feet and could have tapped in his own rebound, but it bounced over his stick. Anders Lee just tipping it over the net. There was a couple others, you know, and like I said, if the Islanders this year didn't have bad luck, they wouldn't have any luck at all. It's just been that kind of season. We need to come back in this game and win this game. We need this for our own psyche. It'll be a big game beating up on the Oilers, especially with having this big break coming up once again. And we're going to be so many games behind everybody. It just would have been perfect for our psyche. This game isn't over. It was a terrible period by the Islanders. Not that the Oilers had a great period, but they definitely controlled the play. And the Islanders didn't look very good. They looked like they weren't awake for the second period, and they better lay it on the ice for this third period. That's all I can say, because if they don't, I mean, odds are the Oilers are going to get a power play in this third period. They haven't had a power play all game long, and the Oilers are the best power play in the league. This is one team we don't want to let on the power play at all. We need somebody to come through here. We need somebody to step up. Bars isn't having a very good game. Beauvillier is finally starting to get some things happening, but he still can't put the puck in the net. And 1 point in 16 games isn't going to do it for Anthony. So even though Anthony's playing better and he was off for a few days too, so I guess give him a bit of a break, but there's signs for Anthony at least. So but we need him to start contributing. I can't believe Bars going from absolutely totally dominating a game to all of a sudden just doesn't even seem like he's out in the ice sometimes. Sorokin hasn't been at his best. It's not much he could do about either goal. However, on the second goal, he could have, he had the opportunity to get his glove on the puck. I guess he didn't see the puck lying right at his pads, or it was just late trying to make a decision to get the puck, or I don't know what it was, but that scramble just led to an Oiler goal. So I don't know, pretty frustrating, that's for sure. So we open the period, 31 seconds. It's a tie game. That's frustrating. The Oilers kind of take over. If there's any positive, it was the last 5 minutes of the period was our best 5 minutes of that period. So hopefully the guys are going to, rally between the second and third here and come out strong and at least get a point. We need to be in the point collecting business, as Barry says. So let's go Islanders. We really need this game. Come on, hockey gods, give us some hockey god luck, for crying out loud. I mean, are you going to pound us the entire season with everything that's going on? Like, seriously. All right, boys, put the heads down. Let's go get them in the third. Woo! Tell me that doesn't get the old heart racing. Wow, it is Islanders 2, Oilers 2 after 3 periods of play. We're getting ready to go into overtime. I am, that was a fantastic period by the Isles. Well done, boys. Out shooting the Oilers 14-2 in the third period when we come out down a goal. So that was, that's way to go. They came through big time. They bared down and did exactly what I was asking for them to do between the second and third period. So to come off such a bad second period and have a third period like that is outstanding. But once again, I would say if we had any hockey gods on our side, there was several opportunities where the puck could have gotten into the net for the Islanders on a bounce or something here or there, and it just didn't happen. Like Lee with another tip just missed. So many things. I tell you, I was so. Oh well, first of all, let's talk about the goal and Austin Czarnik. I mean, that goal was all his. The guy has played so well since he's been up with the Islanders, and he's not getting very much ice time tonight. But when he's out there, things are happening. I would say in the first 2 periods, the only chances we really were getting was when Czarnik was on the ice. And, he created that whole thing. And it's so nice to see Bo finally get another one. So that's like 2 goals in 3 games, even though it's only 2 points in 17 games. So, but anyway, Bo's just looking more confident out there, and he's having a good overall game as it is anyway. Our defense has been absolutely fantastic on stifling McDavid and Draisaitl. Like, this close to the most ineffective I've ever seen him. However, I got to tell you, when it went 4-on-4, I was petrified with McDavid one line and Draisaitl on the other, even though we got Barzell, but we came out of that and it looked good. So we haven't won a game going extra minutes. So if there's ever a team that we probably should lose 2 and 3 and 3, it's probably the Oilers. So maybe we could get some hockey god luck and turn this around and make it an Islander victory. Either way, it's great job fighting back for for a point in this one. Andy Green has been outstanding in this game. There's a lot of guys to talk about. Bellas, we'll talk about him at the end of the game. I'm just really pumped at the effort that the Islanders came out with in that third period. That was fantastic. That was what we needed. We really, it's time not to be just too happy with the point. We really need that next point. So it would just give us the feel good feeling going into this long break that we're about to experience. So let's go Islanders. I know the odds are against us in 3-3. This is what McDavid lives for. Even Draisaitl loves it. They also have Darnell Nurse. So this might not be a bad situation to try to kill as much time as you can on 3-3 and take your shot, Sorokin versus Koskinen, even though I'm sure both McDavid and Draisaitl are going to come at Sorokin in a shootout. So anyway, one way or another, guys, win this game. Okay, see you at the end of the game.
Woo!
Wow, does that feel good? Such a big win for the Islanders. The Islanders take it in overtime. 3-2 over the Edmonton Oilers. A huge victory for the Owls. Back-to-back wins for us. That hasn't happened since early November. What a feeling, especially knowing that we got this big break coming up yeah, big break coming up. So we can leave it on feeling good about ourselves. And the bottom line here is, we talked about the small goals in the previous podcast, and we accomplished one of those small goals tonight. So, and that was to focus in on Buffalo. And we caught up to Buffalo tonight, and we've now basically moved ahead of them in the standings. But more importantly than that, especially now that we're going to have about a 10, 11, 12 day break or whatever it's going to end up being, is that we're now only 2 games under 500. And that is the most important thing. That is our shortest term goal, is just to get back to 500 and then go from there. And we're getting closer and closer. So there's going to be some bottom feeders that are probably, like Buffalo will probably pull back ahead of us again, if since we won't be playing. If they actually get a point while we're not playing, then they'll pull ahead of us. But we'll have so many games in hand on all these people that we should eventually start catching up to them in that. I'm still really ticked off about the Seattle game not being played. I just do not understand that at all. I know it's because it's a coast to coast trip, but who cares? The Islanders got nothing but time. Anyway, let's talk about the overtime. First off, I want to say great overtime by the Islanders. They played it very well. Except I also want to thank McDavid and Draisaitl for being so selfish and helping create that win tonight. So, and when I say selfish, I mean those guys could barely move, and there was still a minute and a half left in the overtime, and Draisaitl was lucky if he could skate 5 miles an hour. He was so tired, and McDavid the same thing. So, those guys helped us win, because even when they were on the ice, they weren't a threat. The only time they were a threat was the very first part of the overtime, when they had their their stamina and whatnot, and they lost it real quick, and they were zero effective for the rest of the entire overtime. So really well played by the Islanders. They really looked good out there in the overtime, and it was nice to see. Wow, like, who is Noah Dobson? Wow, it was beautiful to watch our franchise defenseman do what he did in overtime. That's right, you heard me. I said it. Our franchise defenseman. He may not be our franchise defenseman right now, but he is our franchise defenseman, and he will be our franchise defenseman. Wow. Watching Noah come into his own here has just been amazing. What a ripper. I mean, the guy's up to 5 goals now. Like, Oh, it's just it's been so fun to watch, but and his defensive side of the game too has been so well. So anyway, we score in overtime. Dobby from Barzell and Pelech, two well-earned assists for both Barzell and Pelech. So great job, Islanders. We needed this one. I feel like a weight's come off our shoulders. There's that little bit of life that you cling to, that we can get back in this. We can get back in this. I haven't looked up higher than Buffalo or New Jersey in the standings. I'm just doing that focusing in thing. So yep. So I'm excited now because we caught Buffalo. So that was goal number one. So now it's on to New Jersey next. But let's talk about the players. Austin Czarnik. The guy didn't play very much. He was under here. I'm going to put my glass on. I want to take a look at the time on ice here. Czarnik only had 6 minutes and 40 seconds of ice time tonight, but he is the reason why we won this game. It was his effort that got us the tying goal. It was amazing. Austin has been nothing but good for us, and he had another good game in 6 minutes and 40 seconds. So what can you say about Austin? That he's been fantastic. He's just absolutely been fantastic. And, Ross the boss in front of the net there, banging away and getting the puck over to Beauvillier. So I don't think I mentioned Ross getting an assist in between or at the end of the game there. So, or in between the second and third. So great job by Ross Johnson too. So, Johnson also only played 7 minutes, but there was one point there in the first period where I actually thought they were our best line, and they barely played. So, I mean, they were effective, and Zach got a little more ice time than the rest. He got up to 12 minutes. So another good game by Zach Parise too, with the effort. A great game by Ross Johnson, and a really good game, fantastic game from Austin Czarnik. And Josh Bailey. Well, Bailey didn't hurt us tonight, and I want everybody here to know right now how much I love Barry Trotz as coach. Like he to me, I'm still in heaven that he's our coach, but Lane might have, the new kid on the block might have just schooled Barry a little bit on bench management. So Josh with only 16 minutes and 45 seconds of ice time tonight, and he barely got out in overtime. He got out around the 2.5 minute mark, and that was the last we saw of him. So well done, Lane. It's about time somebody finally learned how to manage this guy. So not that Bailey did anything to hurt us tonight, but this is where he should be, is down around the 15-minute mark. Is actually, he should be gone for all I care. But all right. So anyway, we'll move on to Matt Barzell. Definitely not his best game. I mean, we went from absolutely dominating the game last game to he wasn't very noticeable tonight. He made a few good plays. He got things going. He didn't do anything bad or anything, but to go from so dominant and then all of a sudden and then to what he had today. But he comes through in the crunch, gets an assist on the overtime goal. So it wasn't a bad game by Matt, but I'm just saying he wasn't very noticeable. Usually he dominates. I don't really follow fancy stats with the analytics in that, but I would imagine his possession time with the puck on his stick today was a lot less than his normal games. Clutterbuck. Cal basically he saved what could have been the winning goal for the Edmonton Oilers there right at the end. Ilya couldn't get side to side because his goalie stick got wrapped up in front of the two guys in front of the net. And if it wasn't for Cal and his great defensive work, there's a very good opportunity that Hyman could have put that one in, and we'd all be really upset right now, losing in regulation 3-2. So kudos to Cal. I don't think the fourth line was up to their standards of last game. They weren't bad though. You know, they had the responsibility of stopping Draisaitl, and they basically did. I mean, it was just a fluke goal that Draisaitl got. So overall, you can't be mad at the identity line. I just thought they had a better, I thought they had a better game than last night or the game before than tonight. So Anthony Beauvillier. Oh, thank goodness, Bo. Thank goodness. More than just his goal tonight was he had about 3 or 4 other scoring opportunities. So it's that old saying, as long as the opportunities are coming, that, you know, you'll break out of these slumps and whatnot. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. Puck came right out to him while he was standing alone in the net. Didn't panic, put her in there. So you could almost see in Bo's body language after that second goal, the confidence just come back in his body. It was like watching a different player skate out there after he scored that. So that's 2 goals in 3 games for him. And it was just all of a sudden, he seemed to be standing taller, and a really nice game by Bo. He was a factor out there. He was constantly scoring opportunities, and well done. And how about this rookie, man? Bellows, holy smokes. The kid is playing some really, 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 really good hockey. Yeah, so pleased with Kiefer. And this is what I mean. Like when I say the younger Jedi coach assistant, who would be Lane Lambert, kind of schooled Barry a little bit. So you got you got Kiefer Bellows with 18 minutes and 12 seconds, and you got Bailey with 16:45. Now, Barry, if you want to talk about you earn what you get, this is it. This, you got to practice what you preach. So I know Lane basically probably did everything Barry wanted, but this is Lane on the bench making this happen. I'm just saying. So maybe Barry could be the coach and Lane could run the bench. What a great combination that would be. Andersley, well, you know, he gets another goal doing the Anders thing, standing in front of the net. That's his office. He came through big time for us. Another good game by Anders. Also not up to par with last game, but still a really good game by Anders. Pajot was very, very noticeable tonight, where I said last game he wasn't very noticeable. Tonight he was very noticeable. He was very one of the biggest things I'll say about the Islanders tonight was you got McDavid and you got Draisaitl on the ice, and the best way to defend these guys was to not give them the puck. And both Cizikas and Pager were winning all the draws against those guys, and just by taking the puck away from them at the start of their shifts is huge. And getting that puck possession meant a lot to us on the faceoff dot. So once again, looking really good out there. Pager, excellent game. And he even had some scoring opportunities as well. All right, let's go to the defense. Robin Salo had a nice game, got up for a couple of shots, and his ice time was managed with 11:26, which is to be expected. Is kind of taking the old Dobby route, but he didn't do anything bad or anything. There was one misread he had with Andy Green on the ice when he dumped the puck back to him, and Andy kind of went the other way, and it looked like a bad giveaway, but that's just more not playing with somebody a whole lot. So I'm not going to blame that one on Robin, but he had a good game defensively. He got the puck out when he needed, and he got a shot off as well. So good game by Robin. Obviously, Adam Pelech, who's a -1 today with 22 minutes of ice time, but Adam had all the tough assignments and then ends up picking up an assist in overtime. So another great game by Pelech. Anytime you can hold McDavid down like we did today, and even Draisaitl for that matter. And Andy Green, wow, we are so lucky to have this guy. He's just been outstanding. He is so solid. He makes all the right plays. It's crazy how you sort of don't notice Andy, but I do notice Andy because I can't help it. And I'm going, wow, he did it again. Oh, well, I thought he was in trouble there. Nope. wasn't in trouble at all. Mr. Calm, cool, and collected. So another great game by Andy Green. Noah Dobson. Wow. I think I already talked about him. I mean, the kid is just amazing. But one thing that I don't want to be left behind here with all this burst of offense that Noah has had is his defensive game. His defensive game has been fantastic as well. Like his board work behind our net and stuff like that has been incredible. I don't know if you guys remember. I always, well, no, you guys wouldn't remember, but it was on a message board that I was on. I kept talking about how Noah kept trying to do this reverse play where you pin the guys behind you and you're skating around the net. So you pin the board against the puck against the boards and then go reverse back. Noah was doing that all the time and was getting caught on it. He still uses it, but sparingly now. And because he uses it sparingly, it works. And a lot of his board work has been really, really good. Scott Mayfield, wow, what a game defensively this guy had. He was fantastic out there on McDavid and Draisaitl. He really, really played a solid defensive game for us, and still had some offensive push on his side as well. And Scotty played 23 minutes tonight, so he was definitely the man. Except Dobby, how do you like this? Franchise defenseman that he's going to be, 25 minutes tonight. So once again, Lane, loving it. And Scott deserved his 23 minutes because he was playing fantastic defense out there. And Chara at 22 minutes was just as good. And I was really worried about Chara tonight with McDavid and Draisaitl, but I did kind of notice he was a little more sheltered against McDavid and Draisaitl. He still played against them, but he was more out there with Matt, and Barzy had more of the checkers on him. So Zdeno didn't really have to deal as much with McDavid and Draisaitl. But when he did, he did a great job. That stick was just always in their way. And another thing I want to go back to Mayfield on was when McDavid was pumping down the ice and it looked like he was going to go flying back. And wow, did Scott play him good. Just took him straight into the corner and really, really well done. So good game. I'm raving about Mayfield tonight, but yeah, really good game. And Zdeno, same thing. Ilya Sorokin did what he had to do to win this game. Congratulations, Ilya. You really didn't get a lot of tough stuff to do tonight and stopped 17 of 19. So he got the W. So now both of our goaltenders are working on a W right now. Varley's got a 2-game winning streak going. And this is good. This is good. This is what we need. The guys are going to go out on a positive note for this break. So it sucks that we got this break, but that's just the way it is. So I'm guessing this podcast went a little bit long because I'm just exuberant and excited about it. So why not go a little bit longer if there's going to be no podcast for the next 10 or 12 days or whatever it is. Man, this season has really sucked for the Islanders. You know, we're just now, last time before our break, we were just starting to feel good about ourselves. Now we're feeling even a little bit better than last time. And I guess the only thing that you can put towards this is that Pulock is not missing hardly any games. So because of all these breaks. So from the time period that he got injured, it would have been a whole lot longer. So same with Brock. Yeah, we're going to have Brock back for games that we wouldn't have had him for if we didn't have these breaks. So I guess if there's a positive, that would be it. But I've got a good feeling that just, you know, like I said, last time we felt good. This time, I think we feel even better. And I think with this next break, and like Barry keeps saying, we just look at what's in front of us. And I think they're going to feel like, man, we were really starting to put it together. And I got a feeling they're going to come out with jump again after this 10-day break or whatever it is. So anyway, really excited about that 2-game winning streak for the Isles. Caught Buffalo, pretty happy about it. Only 2 games below 500. Very important, very important. So Great job, Islanders. Exciting Saturday. Yeah, let's go, Isles. And all you people out there, you all take care and peace out.